Alrighty, according to this, we are live. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you are all doing well. Yeah, I'm already messing up right now. Okay, so here's the rundown. I'm going to get the links out to Minds and then the Discord servers, and then afterwards, I am going to grab the kettle from the stove because I was making myself some tea. So you'll have to forgive me once I get the links out. I'm gonna go grab my tea real quick, then I'll be right back. Okay, link copied. Let's get it out to Minds. Live. Alrighty. I get at the Discord servers. That's one down. Now grab another. Pardon me. And last one. Excellent. Okay. Now that is done, let me go grab my tea because the kettle's screaming at me. Okay, now we can get going once I pull the chat up. And have some very, very nice tea. It's, I forgot what it was called, but the ingredients are almonds, dried fruit, and spices. So it's a very, very nice smelling one. Okay, now that I've got that up, okay, chat's pulled up. So, let's get going. Okay, anyways, so where we first left off, not where we first left off. Sorry, I'm already making a lot of errors by speaking. With speaking, yeah, there's another example. So where we left off, Giselle has pretty much forfeited her humanity. She's seemingly immortal, and it looks like we might be learning a little more about the behind-the-scenes kind of stuff going on. We're not just watching the memories play out. We're now understanding, how Giselle became the maid, and what her place is in all these stories. And we caught up to where the first door took place at, and when we were there, we had discovered that the head of the Rhodes family was actually murdered. He was poisoned. And now it looks like we're about to bump into some old characters. So let's see where that comes in. Okay. And forgive me if I have to grab water every once in a while, um, or have a sip of my tea. I've been, last night I had a bit of a coughing fit. I'm doing better today, but still stuff doesn't feel quite right, so I might not be doing, a multi-hour stream for this segment, but we'll just see how I'm doing. I think a big driver of that is not going to be whether I should or not, but more so it's going to be how invested in and enthralled by the story I am. So, okay, and yeah, we're returning to the quite disturbing sister, as we learned how she sees her brother in a certain way. Ugh. Okay. Oh, dearest Mel, come here. Come over here. There are so many beautiful flowers. Now, Nellie, there's no need to run. Here go. And you can't say I didn't warn you. Hello. I've never seen you before. Are you? Good afternoon, Lady Nellie. That is correct. It is an honor to serve you. Oh, did you do all this? I did not. The garden was your grandfather, Lord Hayden's work. Wow, is grandfather a wizard? Perhaps he was. I'm sure he would be delighted to know you like it. Did grandfather like flowers? Yes, he loved them quite dearly. Wow, I love flowers too. I've never seen a garden with so many pretty flowers. Did you know this kind of flower is called a rose? Just like our name. Why, yes, and they do sound alike. And like the flowers, you are also a very sweet little girl. Not sure I'd say that. Say, what's your favorite color of rose? I like all colors. But you don't like any the most? That's too bad. My favorite is pink. Pink roses are so pretty. Indeed they are. Ah, geez. There you are, Nellie. Oh, my apologies. Please don't mind my sister. Oh, not at all. We were having the most wonderful time. That's good. I imagine we'll be seeing each other around, so it's a pleasure to... Dearest Mel, let's see what the inside's like. Mother says I have my very own room. Slow down, Nellie. I beg your pardon. The inseparable siblings ran off toward the mansion, hand in hand. It was a heartwarming sight. But the next moment, when they stepped inside, I saw something else. The darkness enveloping the mansion seemed to flare up. The open door, a gaping maw into its hungry bowels. The whole house looked like as though it was cackling. Cackling. It was, I presume, the witch Morgana's madness taking form, a manifestation of how she felt now that her centuries in the making wish was bearing fruit. Those two children were the ones Morgana had been waiting for. Had I still had any willpower to fight left in me, I would have taken them by the hands and sent them up somewhere far away. I would have done something before the house swallowed them up. But instead, I just gently lowered my eyes. Misfortune would surely sink its teeth into those two children before long. Pain and misery would befall them. I knew no good lay ahead for them, but my heart had all but frozen solid. I had my hands full taking care of myself, so I let Hayden's beloved grandchildren fall into the witch's hands. I was, for all intents and purposes, Morgana's marionette. At long last, it has arrived. The time I have been waiting for so long has arrived. Darling, devoted Giselle, I know not how to describe for you the fiery excitement burning within me. Ooh, I know, I can tell you my story. Tell you exactly what the mild-mannered little boy once did. You'll be opening to listening now, won't you, my dear? And you'll surely understand that I am doing nothing wrong. Because you're my ally, my trusty servant. You and I, we live in the same world. We're as close as family. Are we not? Yes, as you say. So, let us curse all of them. All of them. Let us inflict a pain worse than physical torture on them. Let us put their soul in the rack for all eternity. Curse them. Make them suffer. Curse them. Now, listen carefully, Giselle. This is a tale of wicked men, and my curse upon them. The witch spat her curses for some time, the bile overflowing from her words, the pure, unadulterated hatred brimming within, consumed me more than any horrifying things they described. Shit, I can't talk. She was brutally honest, each word a carefully sharpened blade of animosity. How much more bitterness did you have to carry inside you to become like her? How long did you have to feel nothing but hatred to become like her? It felt like if I let my guard down, I would be consumed by her enmity. Oh my God. Cannot talk. It would become mine, and I would grow to despise them myself. All the time, I kept my mind on one single thing. That is, what was left of my mind, locked away inside a shell of my own creation. It was that solitary truth that allowed me to hold onto my human emotions, to continue believing. I'm always waiting. My love will never fade. When I was still my old self, I called them master and would do anything for them. Michael. That was their name. They were beautiful. They had pearly white hair and ruby eyes. They are going to come for me. Oh, no. Michael, all I can remember about you is your name, your glassy white skin, your fiery red eyes, and your snow-colored hair. Nothing else. And that's why, when I saw her that night, dripping from the storm, raging outside, oh, here we go. I thought, you're finally here. Because I didn't remember enough to know any better. You already know who I speak of, don't you? The person who called upon Rose Manor that fated stormy night. The girl with almost translucently pale skin, chillingly white hair, and eyes like jewels. Ah, what a beautiful girl. Her hair, her eyes, her porcelain skin. It all matches the person in my memories. She must be the one I've been waiting for. If she is. So this is interesting. So Giselle is not even caught up to speed at all as to who she is. For some reason, I thought that the witch, or even the white-haired girl herself, was going to explain it to her. All right, let's see where this goes. Is something the matter? No, I just thought I felt someone watching us. It is only your imagination, I'm sure. If not your imagination, then perhaps some unforeseen force was watching you. Unseen force? Are you familiar with how people refer to this mansion? Rose Manor. Yes, indeed. It is called Rose Manor because you can smell the sweet fragrance of the rose garden even at a great distance. But that is not what I meant. It is said that a witch resides within this house. A witch? I have not heard such stories. You probably wouldn't have. It was a very, very long time ago. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. You have a peculiar presence about you. Should I consider that a compliment? A peculiar presence, she says. Does she sense something in me as I do her? This has to be her then. Her name. I need to ask her name. It's getting late. You should get some rest. A room has already been set aside for you. But first, may I ask you one thing? Oh, this might tell us quite a bit. Yes? I do not believe you have given me your name yet. My name? My name is... Michelle! Oh! Oh! Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. Michael was being reconstructed. So this Michelle character, is she the reincarnation every so often that tries to reconstruct itself into Michael? Okay. Okay. Hey, we finally know her name though. Okay. I knew it. You are the one. What? You are the one I've been waiting for. I have endured so much in anticipation of this moment, so that I could reunite with you. You came to this place to see me again, did you not? Held tight to those wonderful memories until you could make it back to me. I never gave up hope. I always believed, and I hope you'll praise me for that. And I ask you to please say my name. To please make me... I don't know anything about you. If that is Michael being reconstructed, then the witch did say that it would take time. I'm sorry. You seem to be confusing me for someone we've never met before now. You jest. You are Michael, are you not? That is my name, yes, but it's a fairly common name. Surely you're confusing me with... That cannot be. The white hair, white skin, those red eyes, and that name, the name of the Archangel. Everything about you is the same. How can you say you're not my Michael? Please, Michael, remember for me. Stay away from me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. You would reject me? I'm so sorry. I honestly don't know you. Do you care nothing anymore for the time we spent together? We have not spent any time together. You would deny everything? I'm sorry. I see. I see. So you feel nothing for me anymore? You do not need to say anything. I understand. You are feeling a great deal of disgust toward me. No, or perhaps it is fear. Yes. You were always so kind. You would not easily allow yourself to succumb to hatred. I understand. Please, forget everything I have said. Who are you? I am but a simple maid, nothing more. I would be confronting Morgana after that. Not that it will really bear any fruit, but... laughable, isn't it? I no longer recognized Michael as anything more than a concept. Man or woman, elderly or infant, as long as they had white hair, red eyes, and the right name, they were you. I needed anything I could get. I was so desperate, the thought never even crossed my mind that she was not you. What do you think seeing me like this? That I'm helpless and hopeless? Listen to this, Morgana. Michael is back. She's finally come for me. But she does not remember anything, it seems. Not me, not her past, nothing. She saw me and was afraid, in fact. Are you listening, Morgana? Ah, darling, devoted Giselle. You poor, pitiful soul. That must have been quite harrowing. But don't worry, you still have me. Besides, this might not be your only chance. As long as you continue on, Michael could appear before you again. Do you think she will remember me next time? I can't say. That's up to Michael. You do have another option, though. Forget Michael yourself and seek out a new master. Someone who can be yours. Someone dedicated and faithful. Who needs you. Someone worthy of this mansion. Someone who needs me? That's right. Michael doesn't need you, after all. It's all right, don't worry. You have plenty of time. So I'm kind of I'm kind of curious and wondering, Morgana did strike the deal with Giselle. I mean, Giselle struck the deal with Morgana, but could Morgana be even trying to undermine that deal for her own benefit? Because she kept up the end of the deal with Michael by keeping Giselle safe, but is that enough to rely on the fact that it can keep going that way? Will she be... Is Morgana consistent with her promises? Yeah, I wonder. And of course, now we're going back through all the interactions between Mel, Nellie, and the white-haired girl, or in this case, Michelle. God, the artwork is just beautiful. All right, I'm gonna take a sip of this tea. It's been seeping for long enough, I'd say. I might have to buy some almonds because I like to make a lot of my own tea. So I may have to make my own tea with almonds. That's a nice little flavor it's got there. All right, so now the revelation happened, and we know that Mel had discovered that Michelle was his half sister, and Nellie did very questionable things. It's raining again today. I kind of wonder what happened to him after he fled from the mansion. Although, I suppose it doesn't matter to me. The witch is surely watching him. Such a dreadful storm. It sounds like someone crying. I was, at that point, completely out of my mind. Broken. My smiles, frowns, and gasps had all been replaced with imitations. Shortly afterward, the flaxen-haired boy moved out of the house and went on to become a priest. Oh! So he ended up taking that up after all. The girl fell ill a few years later, her disease eventually taking her life. But the boy never once returned home. So Nellie ended up dying. For some reason, I was thinking that there may have been a continuation of the lineage, and it was like a family thing, but we know that the house is supernatural and different locations occur around it. So, but, Okay, so Nellie died, Mel went to become a priest. The Rhodes family crumbled. I couldn't bring myself to grieve for them, or to reflect on Hayden's sorrowful end. I simply waited for time to begin moving once more. I was kind of hoping that we'd get a little more, but I suppose not. Though, I mean, the one thing we did learn, Michelle seems to... I'm leaning on it being part of Michael reconstructing himself. However, we still don't know what that painting was that he has of a white-haired, porcelain-skinned girl. So... I don't know. Maybe Michelle is her own character still. Let's see what happens. Little remains to be said about my broken self, But as I stated before we began, this is the maid's tale. So I would like to take this opportunity to elaborate on events I was unable to show you before. That is, if you can bear listening to such a dismal, miserable story. I already told you about my meeting with the beast, so I'll begin from the second tale from here. After Bestia slaughtered the merchant who showed up at the mansion, his mad laughter echoing through the halls. No, I'm not dedicating the amount that I did before to all this laughing. Sorry. Especially with my way that my throat is right now. I don't know how much I'll do it because it's feeling really strained today. And I'm not entirely sure this tea is going to fix that. Hey, you hear that? Do you hear his screams? He said I was a monster. A mutilated body lay sprawled across the living room floor. As you can imagine, that was my first time ever seen such a bloody, mangled corpse. I could not look directly at it, so I averted my eyes. Hey! You saw it. I just proved that beasts are stronger than humans. Indeed you did. Ah, I know. I've got a great idea. You asked if I wanted to become the master. And I said I did. Which means you work for me, isn't that right? So you'll do whatever I tell you, won't you? What would you have me do? Chop up his arms and legs and make a stew out of him. And don't you hesitate, or you'll end up like him. Yes, master. He's trying to assert his dominance over me. That's not proper behavior for the master. Although, I am the one who offered him the role. Do it. He's an utterly mad beast. But am I really all that different? There's blood all over my hands. It sounds like someone's laughing. Is it him? Or is it her? No matter what happens, it won't affect me. The cocoon is not the real me. Forgive me, just sipping the tea. And something else that is interesting. I would have thought that with all these stories that we were seeing, I thought that there was probably a lot going on between these two like each door. But apparently not. It's just a gap of time with nothing going on. Which means poor Giselle would have to go through all these horrible events and then practically just wait again. Whew. I was looking down at what could only be described as a pile of human debris. I had done this. But that fact did not register with me. I felt nothing at all. Not regret, not anger, not sorrow or despair. Put it in the fire. He said he traded in spices. That should give him a very unique flavor. How am I supposed to work with this? I was, quite simply, puzzled. No one had ever made such a request of me in my hundreds of years of the mansion. That's all I was. Puzzled. But he interpreted it as hesitation or fear. So he grabbed me by the shoulder, knocked me to the floor, and skewered me with that curious blade of his. From the first few moments, he wore that deranged grin of his, but as the seconds passed, it slowly transformed into shock. Not a drop of blood spilled from my breast. And that instant he realized it, I saw revulsion in his eyes. Him, of all people. A man who cackled as he slaughtered others was disgusted by a mere maid. It was absurd. So much I almost wanted to cry. You? Is that all, master? Are you not going to dismember me? You could try stabbing my face, or my neck, or my stomach, or any other part of me. Perhaps then I might die. Oh, now, don't look at me with such, like I'm some exotic creature. Stop that. Quit laughing. Why should I? My only distinctive feature is my smile. I have nothing else. My hands are covered in blood, but I can still smile. It's ridiculous. I get it now. You're the witch, aren't you? Ah, I see. Only monsters ever have a place here. Every so often, I hear a woman's voice in my head. That's you, isn't it? You're the witch. Monster, witch, maid. What am I? Who is Giselle? Michael said she was spirited, true to herself, that she often laughed and cried and shouted. But I don't know anyone like that. I'm just a maid. Nothing more than a servant. The woman's voice he had said he heard was probably the real witch's, but I had no interest in that. I almost would have preferred not having to think about anything at all. Nothing would cause me to waver in my head if it was empty. A world without joy or sorrow sounds quite wonderful. But nothing ever went the way I planned. For the white-haired girl, whom I thought I would never see again, appeared before me once more. I was quite nearly in a panic. Beneath my perfectly practiced smile was a veritable storm of emotions. Faint hope flared up within my shell. Perhaps this time, Michael would remember me. But all that hope was, unsurprisingly, in vain. Is someone there? Yes, I came by to ask if there's anything you needed. I cannot offer you anything extravagant, not like before, but I'm here to provide you with anything in my capacity. I appreciate the offer, but I need nothing. Being allowed to stay the night is more than enough. Do you work here in the mansion? Yes, indeed I do. I have been here for a very, very long time. A very long time? You might think this is an odd question, but have we met before? Something about you seems familiar. And I get the feeling I've been in this mansion before. Yes, we have met. It was quite some time ago, though. When was it? It was an unimaginably long time ago. Do you remember a boy? I apologize. My memory fails me. Do you not remember me either? I was afraid of this. She doesn't remember anything this time either. But I will not be so pushy this time. I cannot bear to be so blatantly rejected again. I see. You should probably not push yourself to remember then. There were joyous times, and there were less than joyous times. But would you be so kind as to answer one question? What might be your name? My name? My name is Michelle. White hair, red eyes, and the name Michael. Why must you continue to bring me pain? Why can you not set me free as you were supposed to? I see. So you are Michael again. Again? You should get some rest. I will make tea for you in the morning. Also, go on, close your eyes. The white-haired girl lay so quietly in her bed, I could not tell whether she was asleep or awake. Even the sound of her breathing was too faint to hear. Standing over her, looking down at her, the locked-away despair and wails of lamentation I thought myself to no longer be capable of came bubbling back to the surface. Lamentation, sorry. But can you honestly blame me? I had been waiting for Michael for so long. She was the one thing holding me up. She was the only thing keeping my broken self from falling apart completely. Yet she claimed not to remember me. Did you pity her, having to go through tragedy after tragedy? But every time she showed up, she said she did not know me, bringing me more and more grief. I had been waiting for hundreds of years. Waiting for her so long, my mind slipping away with every passing day, waiting and waiting and wait. My apologies. I have to be careful, or I'll slip back to what I was then. If you weren't holding my hand now, Tell me. You are Michael, aren't you? That's a relief to hear. Yes, thank you. I'm all right. Do you think I'm as muddled as I feel? Let us return to the tale then. You don't know what it feels like. You don't know how much it hurts for someone you've waited so long for to say they don't know you. You have no idea how much it crushes me. Rather than feel like this anymore, maybe I should just end it all with my own hands. I reached my hands out toward her slender neck I was not an especially strong woman, but I thought even I would be able to suffocate her with relative ease. She was blind, at that, so she wouldn't be able to run. However, that was the one thing I could not bring myself to do. I can't. I can't do it. I ran and I ran and I ran, though I knew I had nowhere to run, plunging myself into the mansion's darkness. I did not want to be there any longer. I did not want to have anything to do with her. But being an inhuman inhabitant of the house, I could not close my eyes or plug my ears to what happened within its walls, as much as I may have wanted to. It didn't matter where I was. I had no say in the matter. I was forced to observe the events until their tragic conclusion. Twisted, bloody madness. The wretched wails creating a whirlwind of misery. When it was all over, Morgana cackled like a little girl. Go on, you have left too, my dear. There's nothing in the world better than this. He was a beast through and through. And what fool he was to think he could become human. Hello, Edgy. Hope you're doing well. How are you doing today? I love it. He destroyed everything he had with his own hands, and then couldn't even manage to mourn for it. Quite the unfortunate fate, wouldn't you say? Go on! Laugh with me. Laugh with me, my darling, devoted Giselle. Michael is dead too, though. You're worried about that tiny little detail? She'll show up again, of course. So you don't need to worry about a thing. You don't need to feel bad about any of this carnage. Rest easy, my darling, devoted Giselle. If you say so, then I shall not be concerned. Yes, that's good. Laugh, laugh, my dear. Good to hear you're doing good, Edgy. You're probably doing better than poor Giselle right now. Holy fuck. I apologize for making you listen to my dreadful stories for so long. You must be quite weary of them by now. But worry not, for this is the final one. And despite being the end, it is neither dramatic nor exciting. It was a single phrase, the most insignificant of things, that caused me to completely lose myself and forget I had, long ago, been the woman called Giselle. There was no malice in it. It was but a simple greeting. Do you remember how, the first time she arrived, Michael said I had a peculiar presence about me? She felt something there between us. And the second time, she said something about me seemed familiar. She did not remember why, but her soul recognized the bonds we shared. So I assumed that the next time she showed up, she would feel something even stronger, or perhaps even have her memories. Despite having been let down again and again, I still held on to the faintest glimmer of hope. But when she appeared, she was someone else's wife. Hey! Hey, head maid! Get out here! I'm right here, sir. Is something the matter? I figured you should get to know her as soon as possible, since you'll be spending a lot of time looking after her. Oh? Hey, get out here! Christ, there's not a goddamn confident bone in your body, is there? I'm sorry, I'll be right out. My... The first thing she said when she saw me was, "It's a pleasure to meet you." It's a pleasure to meet you. What had I spent all that time waiting for? It was all for naught. It was all meaningless. In this era, she felt nothing at all for me. In retrospect, it makes enough sense. But for me at the time, that was the end. Morgana? Morgana? Cast me into darkness. Make me a formless being like you. I don't want to be here another second. I don't want to look at her ever again. Morgana! Morgana! Please listen to me. I'm begging you. Now, what's the matter, my dear? It's not like you to throw a tantrum. I can't take it anymore. I can't do this. Michael again. Oh, you poor thing. Betrayed 3 times now. Morgana, you pitiful girl. Don't groan like you're having a bad dream, my dear. I am here for you. Please, Morgana, erase me from existence. If you go away, then I will be all alone. And that would be so absolutely dreadful. But I... Tell me what torments you so, my dear. What? Michael, whom I've been waiting for so long, doesn't... Oh, you poor thing. You've spent so long riding the currents of time that you've lost sight of yourself. What? You've convinced yourself that someone else's story is your own. Someone else's? Yes, indeed. It was such a beautifully tragic tale, and you fell in love with it. It resonated so deeply with you that you felt their pain as if it were your own. What are you talking about? I wanted to tell you, my dear, but you were so convinced it actually happened to you that I couldn't bring myself to take it away. Then, what about Michael? She is not the one you are waiting for, and you are not hers either. Then, what about Giselle? That is not your name. Then, who am I? Who are you? That's a very silly question. You are this mansion's cursed witch. I'm the witch? That you are. You are both the maid and the witch. But how? Do you truly believe that someone who has an eternal life, who doesn't bleed when they're cut, and who can smile no matter what happens to her, isn't a witch? How much of this Giselle memories do you actually possess, my dear? How clearly can you remember her life? You can't, can you? You don't know what kind of story Giselle and Michael wove. And you wouldn't, because you were merely an onlooker. Much like you are now, for this present tale. And by contrast, how much of the witch's story do you know? You should know it very well. Yes, but that's because you... No, my telling it to you is not the reason. The details are rooted deep within your memory. Then I'm... That's right. You are the cursed witch, Morgana. But you... I am you. You split in two because you refused to accept who you were. Think about it. Have I ever shown myself to you? Have I ever shown myself to anybody? And that's why I am the witch that you are. I see. It all makes sense now. Everything has fallen into place. There's one thing I still don't understand, though. The story I was so enamored with. Giselle's and Michael's story. What kind of story was it? I would be glad to tell you. You look like you're ready to know the truth. So this bitch, this bitch tormented this poor Giselle for hundreds of years, only to completely dissipate her mind and install her own twisted identity onto her. That is so disgusting and twisted. Holy shit. Poor Giselle. Again, this girl can never catch a break. Oh my God. Someone give this poor woman a hug. Oh. Giselle is not having a good day. Yeah. The gaslighting is real right now. I don't think this is gaslighting. I think somebody just opened up the gas tunnel. Forgive me. The gas valve. Oh, God. I believed every word she said. All my worries melted away like they were nothing. The sight of the white-haired girl no longer kicked up waves in my heart. In fact, I found myself wishing for her to find happiness. That's true. She had mentioned that in the story. I was an observer, watching and hoping for the best. The tragedy that befell her did sadden me, but I felt bad for her like I would a character in a story. Here's the question, though. If she's convinced that she is the witch Morgana, then what does she believe her goal is? Or is she just completely brain dead and just going completely with just the events as they transpire? I don't know. Okay, so this must be right when the white-haired girl, or Michelle, left, and Jacopo is about to confront Maria, or Maria had just shot him. I brought you your medicine, Master. Thank you. Just set it down over there. Yes? What are you staring at? My apologies. I was simply musing about how much time had passed. I can hardly believe it has been 40 years since you were a bright young businessman. And you haven't aged a day. Why, thank you. I am a witch, after all. Well, I don't much care what you are. You could be the Grim Reaper for all I care. You still work harder than anyone else. May I ask you a question, Master? What is it? Why have you not returned to your homeland? I thought it was a place quite dear to you. I can't wait for her back there. Do you still believe she will return? To a degree. I understand how difficult it can be to... Oh, I'm sorry. That's her talking. To a degree, I understand how difficult it can be to wait. Though for me, waiting now brings more joy than pain. With your lifespan, Master, it will be the pain that wins out. Perhaps you should consider letting go? Tell me, was her name really Michelle? Why, yes, it most certainly was. But why would you ask such a thing? Have you forgotten your own wife's name? You have waited so long that it would seem, like me, some part of you has begun to break down. You poor, poor man. You know, you look a whole lot more pitiful than me. Oh my. Oh, there you are. What has you in such a flurry, my dear? You are a noble servant. You must maintain your composure at all times. But the master... What about him? He was found deceased in his chambers. The doctor just came out. He said it was his ailment. Oh, did I miss something? Oh, okay. And it would seem the master knew his time was short. And he left a will, asking not to be given a funeral. I see. I feel kind of bad for him, though. Not only did he have not have anyone at his side for his final moments, he didn't want to be sent off at all. Isn't that sad? It is for the best. There's not a single soul in this world left who could send him off. Okay, that... Oh my god, that... Okay, that is really... Holy shit. After everything that Giselle had been to, this is what she's turned into. Wow. That... This is like straight up torture what this witch has done to her. Wow. It's crazy. I mean, it makes sense how she got to this point, but it's like, you just think about everything Giselle went through, and yet she's still found a way to be cheerful and peppy and happy and looking forward to a life with Michael. And she tried to hang on to that so hard, and even at that, the witch got her to this point. Like, she really has become like a whole nother character now. Wow. I could never see the Giselle that we got introduced to reacting to a death that way. Wow. Anyways, with your era drawn to an end, this mansion will soon return to existing nowhere in this world. I wonder what the next one will look like. I wonder if misfortune will befall her once more. That would be quite regrettable. Perhaps, if I could convince her of her tragic fate, she would be willing to disappear from this realm with me. And if she wishes to fight that fate, perhaps she will become my next master. Calling her master seems inappropriate. but I cannot think of a word that fits better. I eagerly await the next era. Please do not keep me waiting for long, Master. Oh. Time passed onward, and then, at long last, you arrived. Oh, splendid. You have finally awoken. Oh my God. Please don't tell me she's imagining him there. Oh God, please don't. I will not be able to handle that. Oh my God. I have simply been waiting so long for this moment. Tending to the mansion all by my lonesome, ensuring it was ready for your return, Master, whenever that time may be. When I caught sight of you through the window, my heart fluttered. The time had finally arrived. Oh my, you do not know who I am? Do you not know who you are either? This is quite the predicament. Then how about this? I am a servant of this mansion, and as such, I'm familiar with the many incidents that have taken place here. I shall show you the history of this house, Master. Let us be off, then. And fear not, I merely entreat you do not let go of my hand. Should you be holding it tightly, you need not worry about being washed away by the waves of history. No matter what happens, you mustn't let go of my hand. Oh, no, okay. He is here. Okay. I was gonna say, that would be way too much. Oh. Phew. No matter what happens, no matter what you see, never again let go of this hand. That is everything. I prepared a number of things to say when she finished with her tale, but I can't manage to put any of them into words. I almost hate myself for thinking it would be so easy, for letting myself hope I could simply pull her back to her old self, accept whatever had happened to her, take her hand in mine, and I would solve everything. The truth is so much worse than I imagined. So much more harrowing. She was subjected not only to her own terrible fate, but every single one of this house's tragedies. The tales she told me are things she witnessed with her own eyes. How can I possibly blame her for forgetting me? For forgetting herself? After so many hundreds of years? No, I should be. Why? Why didn't you come for me? Why couldn't I have returned before she was so far gone? Why? Why did you show up now? Giselle. Because you opened the door to my memories, I now remember everything. But I didn't want to remember. I didn't want to be reminded of all those empty years. Of the people who passed on, leaving me behind. Of you, who refused to show up no matter how much I begged. I'm not the Giselle you knew anymore. I may have my memories, but I cannot go back to that time. My hands are stained with blood, my soul worn thin. The girl who would laugh at the simplest things, who would tell silly jokes and wasn't afraid to speak her mind, doesn't exist anymore. That Giselle is dead. How can you say I'm the same girl? How can you say I feel the same way I did? How can you be sure that even now, I still love you? Oh my God. Oh. Oh, that stings. Wow. Can you deny the possibility that I no longer yearn for you? But the white-haired girl? Can you deny the possibility that my love for you has transformed into hate? She brings her hands up toward my throat, and I make no attempt to move her out of her way. When her fingers brush against my skin, they feel as frigid as death itself. Far colder than anything I'd have felt from her this far. If she had to wrap her hands around my neck, she wouldn't even have to squeeze to stop me from breathing. This is the fork in our road, which sounds like I should save. One word will decide everything. I don't have much time. I have to say something before the cold robs me of my voice. Oh! What the fuck? Oh shit! Holy shit! Oh, that was on a timer! Oh my god! No! No! Oh! No! Okay, I saved it. I saved it. I saved it, okay? Oh my god. Okay, no. Okay, so bad one there. This one has hope. Fuck! Ugh. I wanted to deny it. She may have forgotten about me, but what she felt still remains, as evidenced by her attraction to the white-haired girl, who had many physical similarities to me. Her feelings are still there. I sincerely believe that. But her Arctic gaze caused me to waver for the briefest moment. Perhaps I only wanted to deny it for my own selfish reasons. It was only a few short seconds, but those seconds decided it all. Farewell, Michael. She slides her slender fingers down my neck, then gently shoves me back. Giselle! I'm falling, sinking into my own darkness. I reach my hand out, but I cannot grasp anything. Her hand, the hand I had held for all this time, is so far away. I try to shout, but nothing comes out. I can neither answer her original question nor say her name. Down and down into the infinite void. Darkness consumes everything. My voice, my hands, my very being, and her gaze. My consciousness slips away. Why? Why did I hesitate? I wish I could have at least told you I still loved you, even if you did not love me. Are you sure you really wanted to let him go? Yes, I'm sure. I see. I don't think I'll ever understand. If you hate someone, you should chain them down and torture them for all eternity. It was the perfect opportunity to trap his soul. I do not hate him. Oh, is that so, my dear? After everything you said, I simply assumed. I could never come to hate him. I could never want to see him dead or tortured. Oh? Then why did you say what you did? I don't think you would understand. Probably not. I'm not particularly interested in understanding either. It doesn't matter what happened in the interim. In the end, nothing's changed, hasn't, my dear? You are still my darling, devoted maid. With enough time, you will once more forget your name. What a wonderful world this is. I actually had to continue that laughter because my voice was about to crack and I had to keep it going to avoid coughing. Ending 4. A moment of hesitation. And that's the first ending I did, so you know what? I'm going to consider that I've done pretty good so far. But we saved it, so let's go get the better ending, and I'm not going to hesitate like a dumbass. Okay, so return to title, then we'll load. Okay. All right. Now let's fix this because that was some bullshit. One word will decide everything. I don't have much time. I have to say something before the cold robs me of my voice. Deny it! There we go! I win! Of course. I'll deny it. While I was floating in the darkness, I heard a voice. Regrettably, it took me far too long to realize that it was your voice crying for help, calling for me. You may have lost hold of your old self, but somewhere deep down, you kept calling for me, which is how I found my way here. I refuse to believe this isn't real. I refuse to stomp on a love that survived for hundreds of years. By all means, hate me. If that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. I don't care if you I don't care if you spit bile at me for the rest of eternity. I will not let this get out of hand. Will not let go of this hand. Fuck. Because you asked me not to. I could kill you right now. If that's what you want, then go right ahead. But I'll fight you with all I've got. Giselle, I've missed you too much to lose you again. I don't care if it makes you despise me. I don't care if you think I'm being inconsiderate. I want to save you.
But I am not the Giselle you once knew. I'm an abomination. My mind and body are twisted beyond recognition. I'm a disgusting monster.
It's as if every bit of progress she made before when she was assaulted had been undone. It's like she's back to that same square where she sees herself as revolting because of what had happened to her. Damn.
The woman you fell in love with does not exist anymore. So just forget about me. You are the one who should be saved, set free from me.
You look the same to me. Your manner of speaking, your temperament, your physical appearance may have all changed, but you are still the same Giselle I love.
You should have done anything. You should never have done anything for a foolish girl like me. You gave your life to save mine. And I hated you for that. I never once considered how you felt with those knights pointing their blades at you, or what drove you to allow me to live. I should have, but I didn't. I was the one who trusted the witch. And yet I complained when you never showed up. I unfairly resented you for it. I'm a horribly self-centered person.
But what else can you think when you are all that exists in your world? That's not... Oh, this poor girl. God damn.
You would be so much better off with someone pure and unburdened with all this nasty suspicion and doubt and animosity. You would be so much happier with someone like her.
Yeah, but it's you!
Giselle. You've been paying attention, haven't you? You were there for all the tales I told you. For everything that has happened up to this moment. So you should know just how loathsome of a woman I am. Too weak to even keep herself together. No, Giselle. I'm nothing compared to her. Giselle! See? You haven't changed one bit. You still get louder and louder the more you lose your temper. Why do you feel the need to compare yourself to her? Because she is a better match for you. Giselle. I want you to listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. I'm so sorry for keeping you waiting. And I want you to believe me when I say that I dearly missed you from the bottom of my heart. I wanted you back, and that hasn't changed. I believe me. I love you. I missed you so much too. She leaps into my arms, and she's just as cold as ever.
Yes! Yes! Oh! Oh, God. Oh, wow. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Oh, this poor woman. We did do it, Edgy. We did it!
Her warmth, deprived body feels like the embodiment of all my mistakes. I wrap my arms around her, and I'm immediately filled with unparalleled relief. Even as she sobs into my chest, her body cold as ice. Oh my god. Michael. Oh, God. You saved this girl twice, man. And then the darkness parts. Now it also... okay. We are once more at the top of the observation tower. It's still shrouded in a miasma of shadows, but we're back in the mansion now. We have emerged from the darkness in our heart. Michael. Yes? I'm sorry. For what? I never should have erased you from my memories. Yours are the memories I needed to hold on to the tightest. I was so glad to hear you say you still loved me, even after learning the truth about me. Thank you so much. I'm incredibly relieved. As I watched, it felt like you were slipping farther and farther away from me, Giselle. It terrified me. Maybe it makes me a coward, or pitiful, but I was truly afraid of you coming to hate me. I would never hate you, Michael. Ever. Thank you. We must leave this place. What? It would not be wise for us to remain here long. The air is still thick with darkness. But the front door won't open. And even if we get out from somewhere, what would happen to us? We finally found each other again after so long. I want to share a quiet, modest life with you, like before. What if that all disappears when we step outside? After all, we are... She doesn't finish, but I feel like I know what she was going to say. We're different now. She's stepped far outside the bounds of mortality. And the same could be said of me. The man I know as Michael is long since dead. The mansion itself does not follow the rules of nature either. As beings no longer in possession of their proper forms, stepping outside these walls could very well mean the end of us. I can't say what might lay in store, but we must return. Even though, by staying here, we could be together for all time, I don't imagine that would be a very happy life. There is no sun here, no chirping birds, no trees, or breeze to rustle the leaves. If we stay here, the nothingness will eat away at us. We have finally retained our old selves. We need to take action now, while we can. What if I say I want to stay here? Then I'll drag you out. It's almost like we've switched places. Back then, it was you who wanted to stay. Aw, there she's smiling again! But like a big one, yes! It's also kind of funny hearing you speak favorably of the outside, and especially the sun. The words, "That's all thanks to you," are on my lips before I can say them. I find myself hypnotized by her smile. That smile has picked me up so many times. She claims it's her only redeeming feature, but if she didn't have it, my life would have gone in a very different direction. I'm grateful to have gotten that back too. Say, we're in the middle of a very, touching reunion, wouldn't you say? I suppose so, yes. And wouldn't you say there's a certain way these things usually go? Huh? Are you really gonna make me say it? I was, hoping you might perhaps kiss me? What? Hundreds of years later, this guy's still oblivious. I love it. I guess I didn't, because I did talk a lot about Giselle, but Michael himself, he's a really well-written character as well. He's really cool. And I love just the, I mean, whoever wrote the game, I'll have to look up who wrote this, but it's like, understands how guys work. Really does. What? Oh, seriously, what? Where did all that boldness from a second go? What happened to all the momentum that you were building? Yeah, about that. I think that might be more appropriate later. Later? How much later? Dude, she's been waiting hundreds of years. Kiss her. After we find an exit. We're, you know, in a hurry. You're just making excuses because you don't want to. I swear that's not it. Giselle. Let's save that for when things aren't as crazy. I can't relax and enjoy it right now. What are you, 12? Oh, hush. Alright, fine. But you better keep your word, got it? Promise. Let's go then. Let's find our way out of the mansion. There, our frozen time should begin moving again. That's hopefully where our future awaits. It will be. Now? No. We'll make it so. Yes, we will. If we leave the mansion, it should release our souls as well. And in doing so, should finally provide her deliverance. So I mustn't hesitate. To end all of this, for the both of us, we must start again. This is where we... What? Huh? Yeah, I was thinking, okay, the witch is not gonna let that be. Oh. Because, yeah, Michael did reconstruct himself, but there's always a catch. Let's see how this goes. Darkness. It's a blackness purer than anything I've experienced in this house. Not a trace of light anywhere to be found. Why did I ever think the house would let us go so easily? Why did I ever think our time in the darkness was over? Michael! Yeah. Darkness surges through the open door like a wave, flooding the observation tower. Like ivy growing wildly to cover every last inch of every surface. Consuming, defiling, eroding. Our fingers slip apart, and concentrated rancor rains down upon us. Ah, how hideous a world this is. No, Michael! Please! Don't let go of my hand! Oh, come on, no, 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 no! No! Giselle! Michael! I said I would never let her go again. I said it would get her out of this place. I swore I would. But as hard as I try to stretch, I can't reach your hand. No, 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 no! Come on! Help, Michael! I can't move. I can't move my body. I went out of my way to give you a beautiful tragedy. So why must you be so stubbornly insistent on this ugliness? The more you struggle, my dears,
the thicker and more palpable your filthiness becomes. Ah, it's sickening. Wouldn't you agree? She's always spat her bile with a song-like cadence, singing like a little girl, chirping like a morning bird. She celebrates misery, and she watches for the most worst possible moment to let out a cackle. Morgana! Oh, no! Oh, I don't like that. Oh, okay, so she has a form, okay. I swear, you two are hopeless. I pity you. I give you my deepest condolences. Let go. Let me go. Don't take me away from him. Giselle! The darkness seeping into her grew thicker by the moment, and its black tendrils weren't just wrapped around her, but me as well. Stop this, Morgana. Let her go. Wow! Nothing more original? I need a devoted puppet to protect this mansion for me, so I can't give her up. Not even at your request. Besides, why should I give back something you threw away? Something you abandoned again and again. What are you talking about? You still haven't figured it out, my dear? Or are you just feigning ignorance of your own convenience? You always did like to withhold anything that might prove disadvantageous. Forgive me. Michael! Giselle, give me your hand. Reach harder. Reach as hard as you can. Grab my hand. I can't do it. It's like I'm tied up. I can't move at all. She's right there. She waited so many hundreds of years for me, finally managing to reclaim herself, and she's right there. So why can't my hand get any farther? Why can't I reach her wrist, her hand, or even a strand of her flowing hair? Why can't I get her back again? Michael! No, her voice is growing fainter, more distant. The darkness shrouds her, taking her away from me. Her arms, her fingers, the hands she led me with, her smiling face, her once glowing grin, and her now more modest smile. The witch's darkness is stealing every last bit of her. Oh, come on, man. Do something. Come on. Michael. Stop, please. Don't do this. Take me instead of her. Why? Why does it have to be her? Why her? Morgana? No. Why? Because your work is done, my dear. By all accounts, as the one who resurrected me, you should have become my guide as well. But you let a silly woman emotionally manipulate you, and you gave up on cursing others. And then you threw away your life, deluded into thinking you were protecting her. Morgana! You already gave up the position once. Don't think you can just walk up and ask for it back. Set Giselle free. Okay, so maybe that painting he had is Morgana. Okay, so he wasn't kidding. He knew, if this is accurate, then he probably knew, well, that he had made a deal with the devil, essentially. I'll do anything you ask. If you need a puppet, I'll be your puppet. If you want more from me, it's yours for the taking. But I can't leave her to remain in this cursed house any longer. You certainly have let your obsession for this girl take its toll on you. I much prefer the old, pessimistic, cynical Michael. It wasn't until I met Giselle that I truly became human. She made me into what I was supposed to be. I can't lose her again. Is that so? Well, you'll come to the harsh realization soon enough that everything you saw in her was just a facade. It was not. All right, then. If you want her back so badly, you can have her. But in exchange, I want you to entertain me. Will you endure maddening agony for me? Will you know pain enough to make you howl? Will you face despair again and again and again? If you need her that badly, you can bear anything, can't you? If that is what you want from me, if that will allow her to see the sun once more. Brilliant. Wait, Morgana! Morgana! As you wish, foolish boy. I was looking for a way to keep busy anyway. So I'll use you to kill some time. Find your way to me, my dear. Find your way to me without going mad or succumbing to despair. And do hurry, or she might lose her mind again. Oh my God. Those memories you forced her to relive. Those hundreds of years she spent locked away in her shell. All that fear that ate away at her. It's a bit much to have to reflect on with a clear mind, wouldn't you say? That's how I need to be. Oh, sorry. That's why I need to be there for her. Why I have to get her out of here. That's my obligation to her. You're the one who let go of her hand, though. You can put a broken cup back together, but the slightest tap in the wrong place will shatter it again. Morgana. The witch's cackling fades into the distance. My outstretched hand is completely enveloped in the shadows. I can't even make out the faintest outline of it. And I can't tell if I'm sinking, floating, being pushed along some invisible stream, or falling with incredible speed. My eyes are open, but they can detect nothing. The complete lack of sound is almost painful. Nothing, anything, anywhere. Void. My consciousness begins to drift. Vague remnants of the feeling of her hand in mine are my only link to reality, my one and only landmark. Giselle. I must get her back. She waited, enduring for hundreds, no, almost 1,000 years. And now, it's my turn to act. I have to hold that resolve, hold it firm, so that I never forget her again, so that I never lose myself again, even if I'm consumed by the darkness. You must never back down. You must never look away. You must never lose her. Come on, I'm ready to roundhouse kick this bitch. house in Fata Morgana. The story behind the story. What's going on now? Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm super excited. What the hell's gonna happen now? Okay. Shonen protagonist to your destiny. No, we need a witch hunter here. Yeah. Yeah, we need a. Holy shit. Morgana's an absolute bitch. I know it's putting it, bluntly and lightly, but she is just evil. Like, holy shit. Like, torturing this poor girl for 1,000 years. For what? For what? What is Morgana's end goal? Holy shit. Oh my god, what an evil little shit. Hey, master. Hello? Hello? Is anyone in there? Master? Oh, good. Welcome back. Oh, no. What's going on here? What's going on here? Oh, something's not right. What's gotten into you? I thought you had fallen asleep with your eyes open. I'm not accustomed to people needing my attention. Or, I suppose, talking face to face at all. And this is my mansion? Giselle's right in front of me, smiling like she always did. Smiling for me. You're not hurt. Giselle? You have been alone for 10 years. But now I'm living here with you. So what do you say we do a little practice conversation? Practice conversation? What do you exactly think I am? Yeah. No offense intended. I just thought it'd be nice if you had a little more back and forth skills. So in short, you're saying I'm such a poor conversationalist, I need training? Hey, don't get so snippy. That's not what I meant. I'm saying we don't talk enough, and I want to talk to you more. It's fun. No. This is an old memory. From when Giselle first returned to the mansion. We were just starting our new life together. When we were still feeling around in the dark. What exactly would you like to talk about then? Each other, of course. I have nothing to say. No, let's not be so rash. It could be anything. Things you like, things you don't like. Start with something small, insignificant. Does that serve any purpose? It does, yes. The more you know about someone, the closer you feel to them, and the better friends you can become. Is that how it works? Now that that's out of the way, ask me something. Ask me anything, and I'll gladly answer. Her eyes are lit up like a child's. Is she really so eager to converse with me? I don't believe it. What's the matter? I'm ready for anything. Very well. I'll ask whatever comes to mind. Go for it. I'm glad I saved. I'm hoping I can get through all these and it's not like an option thing. Okay. Tell me your preferences. Wow, how very forward of you. Huh? My taste in men is the last thing I expected you to ask about, Master. I don't recall specifying people. No. Don't fret about the details. It's only natural to be curious, so let's make it about that. And that's the last thing I wanted to talk about. All right, then. Tell me about your first crush, Master. And I have to start? I never had one. What? No, I'm not buying it. You were living at home until 10 years ago, weren't you? Yeah, Edgy, I just want them to be happy. Yes, I know. What's killing me is the very end of this game, the very, very, very end. Like when I 100% this thing, good God, I hope it ends happy, but I don't know. But that just shows how good this game is. How good the writing and story is. Ugh. Anyways. Surely there was someone who caught your eye. There was not. Without missing a beat. Oh, fine. Then I'll go. My first crush was the son of a blacksmith. You missed the part where you asked what kind of guy was he. This is such a pain. Since you asked, he was a huge, muscular fellow. He was so tall, he would always hit his head on the doorway whenever he came to our shop for trade. Oh. Nice, beefy guys really are great, huh? The literal exact opposite of Michael. Take your heart, get all fluttery and tight. Are you trying to imply I don't have a chance? Oh, I think there was more admiration than love. You know, the way a group of girls would get together and fawn over a popular, good-looking guy, it was like that. So you're saying the buff bastard was popular? Very much so. I wonder what love feels like. Oh, God. Especially going through what you went through with his dad. Holy shit. I never got the chance to find out before ending up like this. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to get all dark on you. Say whatever's on your mind. I don't deserve your consideration. It was my family that put you through that, after all. Perhaps it is my reticence that causes her to watch her step around me. Damn. I need to come up with something to say. When I was 14. Oh? You asked about my first crush. I knew you had one! So tell me, what was she like? She was the daughter of a noble family. Her name was Amy, and she was a year older than me. Ah, love between nobility. A world I can only even imagine. It never went anywhere. What? You didn't try to woo her? You didn't shower her in presents? Were you, by chance, a late bloomer, Master? She was my brother's fiancée. Oh, I see. So it was a love that could never be realized. That's sad. Not really. Besides, I don't feel anything for her anymore. What I felt then was just impulses. I guess that makes us both inexperienced. I suppose it does. Okay. I think that's enough of that. So it is. Okay. Do you like... Actually, we'll make that the last one. Tell me about your family. You want to know about my family? We were pretty normal, I think. Not much interesting about us. We had been able to get citizenship at the capital, but we weren't super rich or anything. In fact, it was because we were having money troubles that I ended up here. It's not easy for 3 women to make it on their own. You didn't have a father or any brothers? No. We lost my father to a plague when I was young. And since then, it's been me, my mother, and my older sister. But they're both bright, lively people. Our family motto is, a smile can make anything better. Maybe that explains why she can still smile now, even after nearly succumbing to despair. I've always kind of wanted some brothers, though. Men are more suited to physical labor, yes. Not quite what I was going for. I feel like, I don't know, the kinds of things you would ask a brother and sister for help with are different. I'm not sure how to explain it, but a guy with broad shoulders and muscular arms is someone you can look up to, for instance. Someone who looks like they'd always keep you safe. She's never been betrayed by family, it would seem. She can't even imagine family hurting her. She has no idea that those closest to you, those who are supposed to care about you more than anything, can be your greatest enemies. That blood is a bond heavier than any chain. Master? I believe your brothers are still on your side. It's been so long. I don't know if they are. I don't know what they think about me anymore. I'm sure they're still your allies. You want to believe too, don't you? You want to believe they're not enemies. Let's believe them in them. Let's believe in them together then. Anything you want to believe, you should. It's such a better way to look at the world than the other way around. You have to be positive, or one day you'll crack. Always remember to have faith so that doesn't happen. I don't understand. She's honest about her emotions in a way I simply cannot be. She's the exact opposite of me in that regard. And yet she can still read me. I don't get it. How can she understand me like that? It's like she can read my mind. If only. If only I could just tell her everything. Make it all another page in our mindless chatter. Get everything weighing down off me off my chest. Is something the matter? You're cruel. What? I said you're cruel. I'm sorry. Ignore me. In preparation for the day you can finally go back home. Oh, I'm sorry. In preparation for the day you can finally go back home, you're going to have to stop being such a picky eater. Where did that come from? Think about how terrible it would be if, when the day finally came, you went back sickly and weak and emaciated. You wouldn't be able to enjoy yourself. You're still all right, Master.
You're doing okay. So let's try to keep you healthy. You haven't told me your age. My age? Take a guess. I thought she said she would tell me anything. Okay, it said that she was... think she said that she was 21. Are you 20? Oh, wow! You're exactly right! Yes, okay, because it was a year afterwards. Yes, so she's 21. Okay. That's where, all the shit hits the fan. You're surprisingly astute, Master. And what's surprising about that? I didn't expect you to get it on your first try. Have you been secretly watching me? Oh, Master, you're making me blush. Why the silent death stare? I'm struck with an overwhelming urge to hurl you out a window. Oh, you're no fun. Okay, it's your turn now. How old are you, Master? As I recall, I should be 27 this year. Oh, wow. You're much older than I expected. Yeah, he's much older than I expected too. I thought he was gonna be like the same age as her. What did you expect? You are very mellow, like I would expect of an older man. But every once in a while, you get the impression of a teenage boy. For what it's worth, I mean that in a good way. For what it's worth. Yeah, I don't know. That caught me off guard. I didn't know he was 27. I thought he was like, I don't know, 23, 24. Of course I love it here. Being with you, being able to talk to you like this. See, that I don't understand. What? Why not? I find it difficult to believe there exists any reason speaking with me would be anything but unpleasant. You're so negative. Oh, hush. Say that, for example, instead of me, it was someone not so pessimistic here. You'd rather be talking to them, wouldn't you? I really do enjoy this, truly. I will admit, my time down in the village was, for the most part, delightful. But, oh, how should I put this? I started realizing, yeah, I'm kind of forcing myself to fit that image. I'm trying to convince myself that that's okay. But somehow, when I'm here, there's none of that. I wonder why that is. I certainly wouldn't know. I suppose you wouldn't. I know. Maybe I can think of you as a kid now. Come again? I love talking to kids. What? Hey now, don't give me that look. What I'm trying to say is, you're very sincere, Master. You're not going to smile and stab me in the back when I turn the other way. I can relax around you, which is nice. I see. You just blushed, didn't you? You're blushing, you adorable little thing. It's all right. You're allowed to fall for me. Is there any window in particular you would like to be thrown out of?
No fun at all. He's younger. Ah, Edgy, come on now. Come on, Edgy. It's okay. You do know who I am, don't you, Edgy? Come on now. If I can get through this without getting all down in the dumps, then you can too. See what I was saying, Master? With just a short conversation, I know you better than I did before. And you, me. And that's fine and, well... But what do I do with that knowledge? Huh? You don't do anything with it. It's fun learning things you didn't know before. That's all there is to it. And what happens when there's nothing left to learn? And that's a day I don't think will ever come. People are always changing, growing, so there is no upper limit to what you can know about them. There's always something new to discover. Maybe we'll be here for many more years. Or maybe you'll be able to go home sooner than you expect. But either way, I hope we can keep getting to know each other until then. And of course, if you're open to it, it doesn't have to end there. We can continue getting to know each other for years to come. Hey now, what are you looking away for? What do you think? Because you keep throwing me off balance. A few months ago, I was doing everything in my power to avoid her. Yet now that smile of hers seems so oddly enchanting. I don't understand. I will do my best so that we can make this work. I'm glad to hear it. Giselle, I was too awkward back then to even compliment you on your smile. To put my feelings into words. I was too cynical to accept that what you said at face value, which I know caused you plenty of grief. I'm not much better than I was then, but I will tell you this. When I next see you, I want more than anything to let you know how much I adore your smile, and how much I don't want to lose you or it ever again. Okay. You must never reclaim your old selves. Become my loyal servants, always at my side. And curse them with me, my dears. Eternal suffering on all their souls. My consciousness, wavering like a ship at sea, is slowly drawn back to the surface. With each new breath, feeling gradually returns to my fingers. I can hear the pattering of rain from somewhere, and the sound of a crackling fire. Creak, creak, creak. Splurt, splurt, splurt. It takes a moment for me to realize I am at the very same spot where I first awoke. I don't know how I got here, but I'm sitting in a rocking chair, hunched forward. My head feels like someone filled it with rocks. I'm having difficulty focusing. My joints are creaking, and I feel like I'm gonna vomit. A suffocating odor hangs over the room. What is this? Giselle. Giselle! Everything comes back to me all at once. That's right. I watched Morgana kidnap her. I watched the witch drag her into the darkness, unable to reach her hand. Where are you, Morgana? Ugh. I know you're there, cackling as you look down on me. Say something, witch! I will find you. And I will take her back. Huh? What on earth? There's a pool of liquid at my feet, rising just short of my ankles. It's sticky and uncomfortably warm. Every step I take makes splat noises. And this is blood. The mansion has taken on a very different face from when Giselle was leading me through its halls. Blood of unknown origin not only covers the floor, but also streams down the walls and drips from the ceiling. I'm speechless as I behold the dreadful scene. Every breath I take tastes and smells of rust. Ugh. It's all so unreal, beyond my comprehension. All I can do is stare, aghast, feeling like I might pass out. Giselle, are you seeing this? The same twisted nightmare as me? An image of her floating alone in a vast sea of blood flashes through my mind. That vision kicks me into motion. Me. Every time I'm reminded of age. Stop getting old, stop getting old. Deny. No. It does not stop for us. It does not stop for anybody, man. I will say, though, I was feeling that way, and just recently, I started feeling good again. And it's because of me doing stuff like this. And, you know, I'm trying to read more again, and I'm trying to get my writing going again. And the other thing, too, is, like, you will actually feel not like you're not aging if you don't act your age. And what I mean by that is make sure that you don't stray from the things that you enjoyed doing when you were younger, but also you have to do things to your body to keep it the same condition as it was when you were growing up. And I'm going to tell you right now, the easiest way to not feel like you are withering away is to keep yourself fit and active. I'm promising you that right now. That is going to help a great deal. And the other thing too, make sure you get sleep. I learned that big time because, well, it was partially my last job, but it was also like my last job. Like I was lucky to get 4 to 5 hours of sleep every night, because I was working normally like double shifts. But if you rest yourself and you don't keep yourself up way too late at night, along with, you know, staying fit and everything, you will not feel that dread on you. And I think that the reason is because we tend to feel like we get exhausted a lot easier, the older that we get. And I think it's when we give into that exhaustion that weird feeling accompanies it. So yeah, that's my advice for anybody out there. It's like if you're like, you get in your late 20s, early 30s, whatever you are within that range, it's like the worst thing you can do is stop and think about it, because then you start losing hope, and then you start to not take care of yourself. So honestly, do what you love to do, find time for it, and make sure you're staying active, like physically active. That's going to help you out. Writing does help. I sat down and wrote out every thought in my head when I wasn't feeling good and started feeling... Yeah. You haven't been sleeping the best. Insomnia is a nightmare. Try melatonin. That's the go-to. But if not, I sincerely recommend, I mean, I do this. You know, I grow my own tea, and I'll use herbs that are said to help soothe. And, like, I usually get that with mint. Helps me fall asleep. Or buy sleepy time tea. Great way to go about it. But the thing is, you will make yourself more miserable, and you will visibly age yourself if you do not get rest. But so anyways, thanks for the tangent. I hope everybody enjoyed that tangent. I'm sorry. Okay, anyways. I promise I will come for you. So please, just hang in there for a little longer. I begin walking, or more accurately, dragging my heavy feet forward. The constant splashing of blood against my ankles grates at my already taut nerves. Morgana told me to find my way to her, and I could think of only one place she would be. The tower? It would have to be the tower or the bedchamber, right? She and Giselle must be there. Oh, no, I was completely wrong. Okay. The stained glass window is splattered with blood, too. It creates trails of streams of tears running down the Archangel's face. I give the window a brief glance before making my way to the door leading to the observation tower. Oh, okay, no, it is the tower. However, why won't it open? There shouldn't be a lock. So why? Lustrous black chains seal the metal door. I can recall no such obstruction present during either of my life or my time hereafter. What on earth is going on in this house? No, that's not important right now. What matters is making it through this door. Damn it! I pull and I push, but the chains won't give me an inch. They feel sturdy enough that I probably couldn't cut through them either. There has to be some way. I consider giving up and scouring the rest of the house, but I'm convinced the tower's my best chance. The fact that it's sealed now, when it hadn't been before, feels like a challenge more than a deterrent. I trace a length of chain with my hand, and at the end of it I find a peculiar-looking lock, into which the ends of several chains have been fed. There are 3 keyholes? Save! I don't know what's in store, but I'm not... Okay. So I went... Okay, oh, okay, yep, right here. Okay. Good. Morgana fashioned a custom lock just for this? I need to find 3 keys to open the door, then. I have no idea where to begin my search. Oh, I think I might know. The 3 doors. I wonder if we're going to have to go back into the memories. I lived here for more than 10 years, and it feels like I've stepped into a strange land. No, it's not the same house. Searching blindly is only going to waste time, and the longer I take, the more danger she's in. I met someone before who had a key. It was before I reclaimed myself. But I was exploring the mansion alone. Oh, the painting! Think, Michael. Who was it? The painting. Yeah! I'm so smart. Like everything else in the house, the painting is covered in blood. That it depicts a scene rural landscape only makes the contrast that much grimmer. I remember talking to this painting, assuming I wasn't hallucinating. I have a question for you. Are you awake? Please, wake up. Ah. Can you hear my voice? Please, say something. You reside here in the house like the witch, don't you? You've been here with her all this time, haven't you? Then you must know how to get into the observation tower. About the 3 keys I need to open the lock. I need to get into the tower. Please, tell me where I can find the keys. Say something, damn it! Answer my question! Ah! Someone there? What? What's the matter? I feel kind of strange. Did the witch do something to me? Please get a hold of yourself. Everything's all red. I can't stand it. I don't remember using that color. I reach my hand and try to wipe off as much of the blood off the canvas as possible. But I can't even smear it with my sleeve, let alone get it off. You're wasting your time. But there's the thought that counts. Anyway, you have a question for me? Go on, I'm listening. I guess the painting isn't on the witch's side then? The door to the observation tower's been locked. I need to gather 3 keys, I think. That's my assumption, since the lock has 3 keyholes. Do you know of any such keys? And if so, could you tell me where they might be? Keys. Please stay with me. You're the only one I can ask for help. Keys. I'm guessing this is probably in some way connected to her past. Her past? You know, the events the witch is always cursing about. I was right! What happened between her and those 3 men? What happened between them? The keys are probably with the 3 of them. 3 shadows. You must have seen them. 3 men. Shadows. Mel. Mel, Yuki-sama, and Jacopo, right? Find them, and you'll probably find the keys too. But watch yourself. They aren't all likely to trust you so easily. The depth of their sins grows greater the farther you go. Visit them in order. In order. The first one probably won't be a
problem. So tell me something. You're Michael, aren't you? What? I wanted to apologize to you for so long. Wait! What do you mean? Do you know me? Did you? What do you want to apologize for? Tell me, please. Could you be his brother? But why? How? When everything else is finished, I'm gonna need to visit this painting again. But now, I have other things to do. The painting gave me a hint about where I could find the keys. I'm gonna guess that's his brother. That's one of his brothers. I don't know anything about this past Morgana has with the three men. I never asked her about herself, after all. So maybe I'm going to end up having to do more than simply take Giselle back. Has our involvement with the witch caused us to be swept up into her twisted maelstrom of fate? Regardless, I need to get to work. The painting said to visit them in order. Assuming he was referring to the order entered the 3 doors? Okay. The rose garden is Mel. The cellar is Yuki-sama. The den should be Jacopo. Excuse me. I made my way to the rose garden. The corridor leading there is a mess, and the wooden door is rotting away. I can smell the flowers on the other side. Everything is different from when I was alive. From when Giselle planted and raised that single rose. A scene from the past spreads out before me. The field of once proudly flourishing roses is now withered and gray. Knowing how beautiful it had once been only makes it that much more dispiriting. Sorry. A bitter breeze brushes past me. Solitude hangs over the garden like a thick fog, eating away at me. This isn't what I wanted. Someone, get me out of here. Oh, we saw this earlier. Oh God, tell me, it's not all my fault. A young man's shadow stands off to the side, muttering listlessly to himself. I recognize his voice. Do you have the key? The boy and I have never met, but I feel like I know him quite well, like we have been acquainted for many years. I know how polite and mild-mannered he is. I know how kind and how vulnerable, how human his heart is. However, very little of that boy seems to remain. This isn't what I wanted. Oh God, please answer me. Someone, get me out of here. Tell me, it's not all my fault. Answer me, Mel Rhodes. I know that's you. Huh? As soon as I say the shadow's name, it turns to face me. I still can't make out much detail, but he seems slightly less tenuous now. Who are you? How do you know my name? My name is Michael. I once lived here in the mansion. Michelle. I know that name. I know it very well. But something's not right. You look different from the Michelle I remember. I am not the Michelle you know. Our names simply sound the same. Oh, it makes sense. She would never come to see me.
I have a question for you. Do you have the key to the observation tower? I do. Would you please give it to me? I need to get into the tower. And what do you need there? There's someone there that I need to find. That's all? It may not sound like much to you, but it means a great deal to me. You're not one of the prisoners, then? No. I came here of my own will. To find this person. Exactly. Then maybe you can help me. Help you how? Set me free? Convince her to release me from this place. I'm begging you. The anguish emanating from the boy's shadow is so thick it causes me to recoil. There's a thread of dark desperation in his voice. Has he been imprisoned here for hundreds of years like Giselle? Promise me, you'll get me out of here. Am I even equipped to judge whether that would be a good decision or not? All I know of him is that his time in the mansion during the era of roses. I know nothing else of his life. I don't even know if I would be capable of keeping such a promise. Do I have the strength to save anyone other than her? I'm gonna save. Just because I got no clue there's a decision coming up again. Do you absolutely need the key? You won't agree to help me without it, will you? What? I dropped it. Over there. Huh? The boy is pointing to a thick bramble of roses. Despite the flowers themselves being wilted, the thorns are still sharp. It was an accident, I swear. But I didn't want to scratch up my arm, so I left it there. It's not my fault there's so many thorns. I really want to hit this boy. Why couldn't you just have said so? Because I thought if I didn't have the key, that you wouldn't help me. There's only so much I can do, regardless of whether you have the key. I cannot promise you anything, nor can I be the judge of you. I see. I do not have enough information to make such a decision. Cheap promises and superficial kindness will only serve to destroy the both of us. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to retrieve the key. What? You'll never get out of those thorns. I don't care if it's at the bottom of the ocean. I will have that key. You're wasting your time. I approach the bramble, reaching out for it with my right hand. From behind me, I can sense the boy watching. First, I attempt to spread the tangled, thorn-ridden stems so I can put my arm in without injuring myself. But they seem to be made of iron rather than plant, and my efforts prove mostly fruitless. The only opening is barely large enough to fit an arm that resembles the toothy mouth of a beast. Looking around the garden, I can't find anything that looks remotely useful. I guess my only option is reaching in. That's not going to stop me. I lean down, inserting my right arm into the thorny cavern. Immediately, they begin ripping at my sleeve and gashing at my flesh. Gah! Blood spills down my arm. I'm long since dead, no longer human, but the pain is still agonizing. It's still very much real. Giselle, she doesn't bleed. She doesn't feel pain. Am I not the same as her then? That doesn't matter right now. Focus on getting the damned key. Ow! Streams of crimson spread through the steel-like tangle, gnawing at my arm like a ravenous animal. What the hell is the key? The thorny stems are twisted and layered so thick I can't see inside at all. As I dig around blindly, I start losing feeling in my arm. It's an endless deluge of pain.
Hey, cut it out. You're going to lose your arm.
I will not stop until I have the key!
Don't ask me for help.
I wasn't even considering it! I collect what remains of my gradually fading sensation and focus it into my fingers, praying even one of them will brush against the key. Damn it! But as much as I search, as much as I dig, I find nothing so much as resembling a key, which means it must be deeper than I can reach my arm. Even so, I cannot give up. Gah.
Hey,
Please be quiet. Right now. I need to focus.
I'm sorry. I do have the key, actually.
Mel? Mel! Mel!
You what?
I'm so sorry. It didn't look like you were willing to help even if it gave it to you, so... Plus, she told me not to give it to anyone, for any reason.
This doesn't seem like something the Mel of the story would do. Seems like he's been changed too. Hold still so I can beat you.
I didn't mean any ill will.
You most certainly did.
I'll give you the key, so please have mercy.
Trembling in fear, the boy's shadow sticks out a hand holding a key. The arm I used to dig through the thorns is so bloody and gashed I can barely look at it, but it does still function. And so I take the key from him with my right hand.
Why couldn't you use your other hand? That's gross.
That's the idea.
You're kind of a jerk, you know.
That's a laugh coming from you. Do you have any idea how much that hurt?
I know. I'm sorry. Really. But hey, you're alive, so no big deal, right? But wait, can you actually say either of us are alive? I don't even know anymore.
I do appreciate you giving me the key, though. Seeing as it seemed to be rather important to you, too.
Hey, is this person you want to get back really worth going through all this for?
She is.
She's the one person who ever loved me. And she's waiting for me. I see. You know, I had someone that meant a lot to me too. My sister.
Which one?
Which? The one with flaxen hair, like me. If you happen to see her, do something nice for her, please.
That, I would say, is your responsibility.
Yeah, you're right. But I'll keep it in mind. Thanks.
In the tale I witnessed, the boy pushed his sister away. From an understandable reason, admittedly.
Yeah.
But now, he seems to bear no grudge for her. He probably, I mean, she did end up dying, so he probably does feel for her.
Did
something else happened between them? Even if it did, I don't have time to ask about it. I'll be on my way. All right. Take care. There are 2 more keys. Watch out, though. They're not the most friendly people. And they'll probably be even more enraged locked up like this. I appreciate the warning. If only someone like you had shown up sooner and taken the keys from us. Goodbye. After bidding me farewell, the boy's phantom dissipates into the shadows of the rose garden. I wonder if he's gone back to mindlessly muttering his regrets. I should get it going. Okay. Now we go to the cellar. Because that's the order. Now we'll be talking to Yukimasa. I descend the stairs, opening the cellar door. The first time I visited this room, the smell of blood from within was nearly suffocating. Now, the entire house reeks of it, and I've started to go numb to the odor. There's no one here. Am I in the wrong place? I begin exploring the cellar, hoping to maybe find the key hidden away or abandoned somewhere. As I reach my hand out to investigate one area. Huh? A shadow leaps out of the thick darkness. Ah! It's so swift I have no time to react. My body freezes in place. A shadow stands before me, holding the tip of a blade mere inches from my face. A key. You have a key. 1 second, I gotta save. We don't know what he'll be doing. I do, yes. Cold sweat trickles down my back. My voice is shaking, and there's no hiding it. The shade appears to be glaring at me, though I cannot make out its face. After a few seconds, it withdraws its blade. Let me see it. The boy's key. Did he give it to you? In the rose garden, yes. Are you 2 acquaintances? How could that be, though? You were from a completely different era and country. Who are you? No, never mind. Who you are is irrelevant to me. Are you human now? If you're speaking of my nature, then no is the only answer I can give you. You didn't kill me, though. If you wanted to, you could have easily skewered me where I stand. If that's what you want, I'd be happy to oblige. What did you come here for? For your key. I came to ask if you would give it to me. You mean to open that door? I need to get into the tower, yes. I see. Take it. I don't like that. That was way too easy. The man shadow tosses the key at my feet. I'm not quite sure what to think. I didn't expect him to give up so readily. What? Take it. I won't stab you in the back while you're bending over. I thought you were supposed to hold on to this at all costs. I no longer have any reason to guard that key. In the past, I might have severed your head from your shoulders, and the moment you mentioned it, though. What point in the past? Yeah, this guy was fucked up from day one, if you remember. That's a question I wish I knew the answer to. Hey, do you know why I'm here? Where this place is? When it is? Why can't I get out of here? What's happening to me? Tell me! I have no idea what's going on! Not a single goddamned idea. Neither do I. Get out. Take the key and get out of here. Get out! I can't bring myself to say anything to the enraged shadow, so I follow his command, picking up the key and departing the cellar. Okay. Now to go see Jacopo. I thought I was dead for a second. This makes two, though. What could have happened between these people? The painting mentioned a past with them, and Morgana spoke of the wicked men she cursed. Does that mean they did something awful enough to earn Morgana's spite? Right now, though, I must push onward. If I'm not mistaken, the final key should be in that room. The room with the billiards table? Yeah, because he was from a different era, yeah. What is billiards, anyway? I should get moving. Once I have this key, I can get into the observation tower. Not before we save. Are we in the last act? I got no clue, man. I have absolutely no clue. Because here's the thing. There is no way they're going to skip over whatever happened between these three characters. I feel like that we're going to have a whole explanation about that, too. So to answer your question, personally, no, I don't think we're in the final act at all. Because here's the other thing. There's entire other chunks of this game that are unrelated to the main story we're playing. I think that there's a whole lot more game to go. Once I have this key, I can get into the observation tower. I'm almost certain Morgana is waiting for me there. With Giselle. So I gather up my resolve and hurry to the last room, not wanting to take even a second longer than necessary getting her back. I can hardly believe my eyes when I step into the den. Huh? In the middle of the room is a large, rectangular table. Several balls roll across its surface, and perched on one corner, looking down at the floor, is her. Giselle! Giselle! The question of why she's here never crosses my mind. All I feel is elation to see her once more. There's no room for anything else in my head. I run over to her, put my hand on her shoulder. Thank goodness you're all right. And turn her toward me. What? What? Giselle? Giselle! I shake her, causing her head to droop lifelessly. There's not a trace of light in her unmoving eyes. Why? Giselle, why? Say something, Giselle. Say anything, please. This can't be. You can't be. You can't be.
My mind goes blank. I can't catch my breath. The world is hazy. Why? Why is Giselle? Why did I have to find her like this? Why? I swore I would do anything. I swore I would never lose you again. No, this can't be. A thought crosses my dazed, despair-wrought mind. It's probably nothing more than vain hope, but... Not a drop of blood spilled from my breast. Ah! That's right. She doesn't bleed. So this can't be her. This isn't her. Or maybe Morgana has the power to alter Giselle's very nature. Kill her with the flick of a wrist. No, I don't even want to think about it. There's no hope to be found on that path. All I can do is pray. Beg for her to still be alive. Or if alive is the right word, herself. My prayers bring me back to reality, which is when I realize... Huh? There's something hard pressed against the back of my head. I hear a harsh, metallic clink. Huh? What? Yeah. Ah! A piercing bang rips through the air as I drop to the hard floor. My ears are ringing painfully. Through the cloud of smoke and confusion, I see a man's silhouette. Missed. It takes several moments for me to recognize the object in the man is a gun. Not only because it's draped in shadow, but because I've never seen one with my own eyes. Had I not witnessed what they were capable of through the stories, I would not have understood how terrifying they were. Not a problem, though. I'll finish you with the next one. Now, you hold still, boy. Start running around like a rat. I can't guarantee you a painless death. Wait! Hold on a second. What are you trying to kill me for? Because you make too much goddamn noise, that's why. Don't tell me. You're the one who... What? I turn my gaze toward the large table. Giselle isn't there. It must have been an illusion after all. The realization sends a wave of relief through me. I still have a gun on my face, though. Curious man you are. Does the table warrant your attention more than me? I have a request. Could you give me the key in your possession? That's all I need. Then I'll leave and stop making a racket. I'm not sure you understand your predicament, boy. Because if you think you're in any position to be asking favors, you're dumber than you look. First off, I don't even know what that key you're talking about. I don't believe that. The other two had keys. You telling me they gave you their keys? It sounds like they really do know each other. See for yourself. I believe you should recognize these. Are you collecting them to enter the tower? Are you going to see Morgana? There seems to be a hint of tension in the man's voice. Though I can't see his face, I can sense the waves forming within him. I brace myself to either rejection or hot lead, but the apparition gives me neither. Take me with you. What? You have the other two keys, don't you? Then you can open the door. Bring me to the witch. Wait, slow down. What are you planning to do when you see her? What do you think? She has to... She has to... He's gone. She has to... What? What was he trying to say?
On the floor where the shade stood is a new key. Curious though I am about his last words. This makes 3. I have all the keys now. Are you trying to rile me up, Morgana? Are you enjoying yourself up there? Showing me these phantoms and watching me squirm? Just you wait. I'm on my way. I give the room a brief once-over before making my way back to the chapel. The keys fit perfectly and the opening is unlocked, and when I insert the last one, it clicks open. The chain sealing the door falling to the floor. Saving it here. Okay. They're waiting beyond this door, at the top of the stairs. I start pondering what I could even do in the face off against Morgana, which sends a nervous shudder down my spine. I'm not going to back down regardless. She is a witch, and I'm a mere human, well, formerly human. I'm not a master swordsman, nor do I wield a gun. I have nothing at all with which to fight her. I still have to confront the witch, though, no matter what. As laughably reckless, as foolish as I may be, I have no other option. I place my hand on the door, preparing to climb the tower where I once spent my last breath, Giselle locked safely away in the chamber at the top. The tower where I first met the witch. No hesitation. I would like to know a little more about how he met Morgana. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The sound of blood streaming down the stairs echoes off the stone walls. Although I have begun growing numb to the house's otherworldly ornamentation, the sight of a seemingly endless river of blood flowing down the spiral staircase sends a chill through me. Every step I take makes a splat, splat noise. When I reach a window, I look out to see a churning reddish-black fog. Now this brings me back. You. Oh, I'm sorry. The witch is talking, my bad. Now this brings me back. You climbing these stairs alone, just like old times. Morgana. I waited so long for someone like you to show up. Someone with enough despair to resurrect me. Give her back. But now, I don't see it in you. I don't feel one bit of the intense hopelessness anymore. Give her back. And here I thought we were cut from the same cloth. Morgana! Yes, I'll give her back. If you can make it to me without losing yourself. I will not give up. It doesn't matter what you do. Looking up, I can't see how far the stairs extend. It's just gaping blackness, so I have a way of knowing for sure whether I'm getting any closer. Around and around, around and around, around and around. Beneath me, the blood river traces the same path in reverse. I start to wonder if the staircase even does end. If I'm not just eternally retracing my own steps. But I continue climbing regardless. It's all I can do. Put one foot in front of the other and hope I make it to the top. Morgana. Oh, I didn't miss anything, right? Yeah, okay. What is this place? What did you do to it? What is it? Why, it's a mansion you lived in for a decade, of course. You look at this and tell me it's the same house. What's with the blood everywhere? And the three shadows? Now, now, my dear. No need to raise your voice. And you're being impolite. One question at a time. Answer me. What is this place? That's immaterial. Even if I were to give you an answer you found satisfying, what would that knowledge do for you? Your objective is to reach the top of these stairs and rescue Giselle. Nothing more, nothing less. Isn't that right? Or, by chance, have you taken an interest in me? Despite never once asking about myself before. My gut tells me that without knowing what this place is, without even the briefest glimpse at its nature, I won't be able to safely get her back. Are they in hell? Just straight up, are they in hell? Without knowing what I'm up against, I don't stand a chance. Please tell me about this mansion, Morgana. And about yourself. What are you, Morgana? A witch. No, that's not what I'm asking. Why do you have the powers you do? What are you? Yes, yes, I get it. Humans feel the need to attach names to things and phenomena they don't understand. I understand that feeling very well. Which is why I'm sure you'll be rather disappointed when I reveal the truth. What do you mean? What I mean is, I'm an ordinary human. That's not possible. You expect me to believe a human created this illusion? Then are you saying I'm a magician or a wizard, like you might see in a fairy tale? I would believe that, over you being human. Think back then, would you? Recall our time together. Did I ever once use magic? Did I control fire or wind? Did I create illusions? No, I did none of that. Because I could not. To you, when you were alive, I suppose you could say I was naught but a simple ghost. A rather mischievous, but otherwise powerless spirit. And I was nothing more than those three men either. I was nothing more to those three men either, sorry. The witch, Morgana, was never anything but a wretched phantom haunting that house. But then, how do you explain this? Michael, my dear. We're not the same beings we once were. We're different than we were in the realm of light, the era of the living. You figured that much out, though, haven't you? Are they like in hell or purgatory or something like that? That you're already dead. Yes, I know. I know I couldn't possibly be alive. Yet you still view this world through the lens of the living. You make no effort to see it as the land of the dead. Tell me, why would you think that the realm of the living and the dead are the same? The worlds behind each door were so vibrant. The mansion itself never had any color. They were the memories of the past, of the land of the living, of times forever lost to us. Our lives have already come to an end, my dear. Every last soul within these walls is dead. This is the world that lies beyond the end. It is my world. This is the afterlife. Why get caught up in the minute?
Minute, I'm sorry, I was caught off. None of us has a future. So what reason is there for you to desperately obsess over taking Giselle back? Just like you, she's long since dead. She's a walking corpse. It's nothing I didn't already know, but hearing her say it, it's like a kick to the gut. Dead or alive, she still lives on within this house, and my spirit found its way back too. Why then should I not wish her to have a future? No matter what form it may take, no matter if my choices erase her from this world entirely. Having seen what lies beyond the door in her heart, what happened in all those hundreds of years, I could never let her remain here with you, trapped in this world bereft of light, drifting aimlessly for all eternity. So determined you feel the need to raise your voice. But you're not going to budge on that point, I see. I ask this of you again, Morgana. Please tell me about yourself. How did you become a witch? How did you end up attached to this house? I want to hear your story. You honestly want to know about me? I do now. Yes. But not for me. For her, right? Don't be shy now. It's the truth, isn't it? Besides, if you did say it was for me, not her, I might die of laughter. As you wish. You've seen many tales of people's lives since arriving here, and now you shall see mine. Though I ask you this, will you writhe in despair with me? Will you endure maddening agony for me? Will you know pain enough to make you howl? Will you face despair again and again and again? As I said before, if that is what you want from me, let me tell you something though, my dear. It will not be as easy to watch you. Let me tell you something though, my dear. It will not be as easy to watch as you imagine. Now that you've reclaimed yourself, you will be able to feel all my pain as if it were your own, to resonate with it. Resonate with it. You no longer have your little guardian with you either. My guardian. She was always protecting me. You'll have a wonderful time, I'm sure. It's a tale that could only have taken place in that era of miracles and spirituality. Wondrous and weird, senseless and stupid, hopelessly tragic. Will you watch it with me? Huh? As soon as the final words leave her mouth, I'm engulfed in darkness, not even given a moment to brace myself. The tower's stairs crumble beneath me. My feet have nowhere to go. As I'm being battered by the roaring blood river, my consciousness melds with another. I carry within me the child of God. And that is where it all began. The words of one foolish woman determined the course of my entire life. Before I was even born, my fate was decided. Did her claim come from faith? Was it her way of escaping reality? Did she do it for money or fame? I don't know. I have been visited by an angel of the Lord. The village where she lived and suffered from years of poor harvest. Had been months since the last rain, and and all the villagers prayed desperately to be blessed with succor. I am with child, though I have no man. So proclaimed the pregnant woman in the midst of the drought. And on the day of my birth, the very moment I let out my first cry, a heavy rain fell down upon the village. The storm quenched the parched earth, nourishing the crops and saving the village. The villagers were astounded, for they had thought the drought would never end. As plump drops of rain poured down upon the village, they gathered around the newborn me in exultation. Ah, she is the child of God. Perhaps there would be more wonder in claiming I had magical powers. Perhaps it would make a better story if I were to say they were higher forces involved. But all these years later, here's what I truly think. It was nothing more than a fluke. An improbable stroke of luck. An unbelievably fortunate accident for my mother in the village, and an indescribably unfortunate accident for myself. I am with child, though I have known no man. As if that's even possible. Maybe she had fooled around with a man who had gone and abandoned her, and she spouted lies to convince herself it had never happened. None of the village men made any claim to be my father. Perhaps he was someone else's husband, and as such, he couldn't reveal himself, as adultery is a sin in the eyes of God. The girl they were praising as the child of God was indeed not more than an ordinary daughter of a wretched woman. Sorry. Tea went down the wrong way. At the time, though, I thought differently. I believed my mother's words, convinced I was a saint, and it gave me a sense of duty, of purpose, rather than superiority. As the daughter of God, I believed it was my responsibility to help anyone in need. So every day, I prayed. I asked my Father what I could do, what I was meant to do. Not everyone is equally good, however. There will always be someone who lends their ear to the devil's whispers. One man claimed I was the daughter of a charlatan. He shouted for all to hear, "If you really are the child of God, then perform a miracle for us." Could he have been any more unreasonable? Miracles are neither magic nor parlor tricks. They are realized through the power of faith. A lowly villager has no place demanding God prove his own divinity. It is the height of arrogance. But the man refused to heed my words. So, having no other choice, I contemplated what I could do to show him I was indeed a saint. And blood was the spark of my inspiration. Michael, the time when I lived and the time when you lived were not so different. Our views and beliefs about the world are very much the same. So you should understand that in our time, blood was seen as unclean. It was a dreadful thing, ridden with diseases, which is why we drained the blood from animals and purified the flesh before consuming it. But, being a saint, my blood would have been different. Like the blood of the saints who came before me, mine would have been blessed. I believe it would have been able to cleanse people's impurities. For my demonstration, I chose an elderly woman afflicted with a terrible disease. She was on her deathbed, and no one thought she would live for longer than another day or two. The woman was overjoyed when I came to visit her. Sincerely believing me to be the holy servant of the Lord, she gathered all the strength she could muster to climb before her bed and kiss my feet. I felt an intensely deep love for this woman. Placing my hands upon her cheeks, I said with all the kindness in my heart, "My beloved sister, partake of my blood."
The woman agreed without a glimpse of hesitation, and so I pricked the tip of my finger with a knife and let the blood drip into her mouth. Within 3 days, her health had improved enough for her to get out of bed unassisted. I was not expecting that. I was actually expecting it to go the other way. Seeing that, no one in the village doubted my powers any longer. In fact, the man who had accused me of being the daughter of a charlatan was subsequently punished for his sins. He received much deserved retribution for challenging the daughter of God, for mocking her. But of course, being a saint, I forgave the man. He, in turn, repented and changed his ways, worshipping me as the true child of God. Now, I'll be honest with you. I was ecstatic, utterly elated. I felt like I was on the top of the world, and I reveled in it. The villagers showered me with adulation. They revered me, the daughter of God. Anyone who didn't was punished. And on top of that, my blood could cause miracles. Tell me, do you look down on me for feeling the way that I did? The actual child of God would never let herself be consumed by such base emotions, would she? But if you would give me a chance, I would like to explain myself. I was but a young girl at the time, and to a child, her mother is the world. Anything she says is the absolute truth. So when my mother's claims to happen to coincide with a lucky miracle, my young mind was set in stone. I was a saint. My blood could heal the sick, and nothing could convince me otherwise. After all, I was but a girl of 6 years old. It is not my place to decide whether my blood truly had miraculous powers or not. If you think it did, then it did. And if you think it was all happenstance, then so it was. Miracles are brought about by faith. So the elderly woman who was healed was done so by the power of her own belief. Baseless hope and desire can, at times, make the otherwise impossible reality. You understand just how major a role religion played in our time, don't you, Michael? Especially as someone whose life was taken from him in the name of God. And you understand how powerful word of mouth can be as well, don't you? It didn't take long for the word of the miracle-performing child of God to spread. Travelers from faraway lands came to our village and in search of our aid. Driven by a mixture of elation and duty, I gave my blessings unto every pilgrim who sought them. I gave them my blood, yes. My young hands were perpetually covered in wounds, running out of skin on my fingers. I cut the back of my hands, my palms, my wrists. Before long, they had turned into swollen, carved up, black and red horrors, and so I kept them wrapped in cloth at all times. The only time I uncovered them was to give blood to those who sought it. My lacerated hands were, in no uncertain terms, gruesome and unsightly, but the believers who came to see me all wept at my selfless sacrifice. And so I came to cherish those wounds. There were some for whom no miracle took place, but whenever that would happen, the villagers would come out and say, "The daughter of God is not to blame, you simply lack sufficient faith." Thus, such incidents had no negative effect on my reputation as a saint. For 3 years, I continued doling out blessings. One day, while I was offering a prayer, my mother let slip her discontent. "Why must you hand out miracles for nothing? Why must you give strangers grace? We should be getting compensated. We deserve remuneration." Fuck, I can't talk right now, I'm sorry. Remuneration, sorry. If we charge just a little bit for each other's blessings, we could be living so much more comfortably. I was dumbfounded. How could the mother of a saint say such things?
Helping people was my divine calling, and she expected payment? I nearly wept, hearing my mother preoccupied with such worldly desires. So I explained to her how important this work was. I taught her that we were not to covet material wealth, that we were to dedicate our lives to the service of our fellow man. "You're right, my dear saint," she said, understanding. And I believed her. I fell asleep that night, convinced she truly understood that there would be no more problems. But the next day, I was sold off. Men I had never seen before carried me by the arms and tossed me into a carriage. Confused and panicked, I stuck my head out, searching for my mother. Off in the shadow of the house, I saw her with a strange man, accepting a bag of coins. Okay. The carriage rocked back and forth as it rolled along a dirt road. Shaking and bounding within it, I struggled with overwhelming grief and despair. It was, perhaps, the first time in my life I had felt such a powerful emotion. I didn't know what I felt so much despair over, though. Obviously, it was over my present predicament, but I wasn't sure about it hurt the most. Was it that I had been pawned off like a slave? Was it that my mother, the mother of a saint, had been blinded by money? Was it that the villagers had watched in silence as a disciple of the Lord was thrown into a carriage? Or was it that I, daughter of God, lamented my misfortune like a mortal? I decided it was a trial. My father, the Lord God, was testing my worthiness of being his daughter. So I choked back my urge to cry and sat there in silent contemplation. For almost 3 weeks, I was rocked around in the carriage. The coachman treated me well enough, but I'm certain it was only because he didn't want his precious cargo dying before he could deliver it. He did not, by any means, think me the child of God. The 3rd week, the carriage arrived at a city. It was much larger than the village I'd grown up in, with many, many more people crowding the streets. Something about them felt different, too. They all spoke in a tongue foreign to me, which is when I realized that I was far, far away from home. I was delivered to the lavishly decorated mansion of the region's lord. Brightly colored flowers bloomed wildly in the garden as guests laughed and ate extravagant meals. And in addition to them, there were probably 4 times as many slaves moving about the grounds. Getting a range of looks from everyone we passed, from smartly dressed men to scrawny, emaciated serfs. Bleh! I was led to the Lord's chambers. The Lord was surrounded by beautiful women. Perhaps they were slaves, or perhaps they were prostitutes. I couldn't tell. Among them were some girls hardly older than me. They all wore the same. They all wore thin swaths of cloth, barely covering themselves at all. The Lord looked at me up and down, and with a laugh he said, "Welcome, daughter of God. You'll be performing miracles for me now." Miracles are not something to be performed with one person's benefit, I replied, shocked and furious he had just said something so utterly blasphemous. In response, he said, "I bought you. You are my property. You have no right to an opinion." But I would not have any of it, and treated him to give up his indulgent lifestyle and devote himself to the service of the Lord. But the more I pleaded, the deeper the creases on his face grew. Thinking back on it now, it was hardly surprising. A 9-year-old girl was scolding the most powerful man in the region. I believed it was my duty, and that I was only doing what was right. But he surely saw it as incredible arrogance. So the Lord forced his will upon me. He bound my hands and feet and cut me without my permission, filling a goblet with my blood and passing it around to his... Sorry, that, oh. Oh, God.
A saint's blood and good fortune to all. Oh, God.
That's when I realized the Lord was only interested in the approval of others. He reveled in their envy as he pranced about, showing off his curious new toy, me. He didn't need my miracles. Neither he nor any of his guests were afflicted with disease or misfortune. They were all richly blessed. Every time he threw a banquet, he drained me of my blood. It became nearly impossible to find a spot on either of my arms that wasn't a swollen, reddish-black gash. And soon, because my arms weren't providing enough blood for him, the cut spread to my legs. I lived in a haze of half-consciousness. Honestly, I'm amazed it didn't kill me, though perhaps the Lord was simply taking care not to make more than my body could spare. Sorry. Watching the wealthy partygoers laugh and sip my blood through bleary eyes, another wave of despair came over me. My miracles, my blood, were not meant to be an appetizer at a feast. They were meant for the sick and poor. But despite my wishes, the Lord persisted to squeeze me dry, day in and day out, for his own enjoyment. For a while, I was convinced it was all God's test. That it was part of his plan for me, his daughter. That if I could make it through this trial, I would be allowed to go back to helping people. That man would celebrate my success, envy me, worship me. That sinners would face punishment. That divine retribution would be delivered unto all who had wronged me, a saint. With each passing day, my spirit grew more twisted. Would anyone have believed that scarred and bloodied girl tied up on the floor in the banquet hall was a saint? Unlikely. This was no charitable gathering, but an unholy Sabbath. Perhaps it was caused by my corrupted spirit. Perhaps it was my heart's way of crying for help. Or perhaps it was the devil giving me my witch's mark. But no matter what the cause, during one of the bloody banquets, I underwent a transformation. I was half conscious, as usual, when one of the guests pointed at me and shouted something. His face went pale, as if he were afraid, which I found quite curious. The Lord then approached me, grabbing me by the hair and lifting my head. He yelled something, but I was far too gone to be able to make out what he was saying. Suddenly, I found myself released from my bonds. But my body had grown so weak from being tied up for so long, I didn't have the strength to hold myself up, and so I collapsed on the floor. I was still trying to figure out what was happening when the Lord drew a sword, raising it high above his head. His words in that moment reached me with perfect clarity.
You're a damned witch, wearing a saint's skin.
A witch? Why was he calling me a witch? I was the holy daughter of God. I had certainly never made a pact with the devil. What could have given him that idea? What was in store for me now? Had God performed some kind of miracle for him? Dozens of thoughts and questions floated through my mind as death hung over me. I couldn't comprehend anything, so I didn't feel any fear or anger at my impending death. I was simply curious. What had happened to me? But before I had a chance to find the answer, the Lord swung down his blade. Without warning, without any time to prepare, the darkness drains away. And a second later, I crashed into the stairs, hard. Right at my ear, I can hear a hiss, hiss of the river of blood. The world fades in and out of view, giving way to the real, very real images of a past that never lived. I can practically feel the fire in the eyes of the Mad Blood Banquet's guests.
My vision distorts. I can't regain my focus. Whose blood is that streaming down the stairs? Is it hers? Is it mine? Who am I? A saint? A witch? Is what I'm seeing through the lens of clarity? Or madness? Wait, no. I'm not her. I am Michael, no one else.
It hurts, doesn't it? It's hard to breathe. Your chest is on fire. Your vision is blurry. It's dark. It's lonely. It's scary. It's frustrating. It's disheartening. It's exasperating. Isn't it? What you're feeling is exactly the pain I felt.
I reach my hand out in a plea for help, which is when I see something I can hardly believe. Both my arms are covered in gashes, blood flowing from them without end. The raw flesh beneath my skin has been exposed to the open air. All I can do is bring myself to do is scream. That pain, or horrible past, is doing everything in its power to break me. That 9-year-old girl's sickening experiences are twisting and constricting and crushing me. Why is this happening to you? Are you really that slow, my dear? You're empathizing with my pain. You're just that kind-hearted, Michael. You said you wouldn't give up, didn't you? That you wouldn't make your way to me. That you would make your way to me. Then surely this won't be enough to do you in. Of course it won't. Mustering up every last bit of strength I can, I begin crawling up the stairs. The Red River beats against my open wounds, stinging painfully. The simple act of lifting an arm or a leg is almost unbearably agonizing. The blood dripping down my lacerated arms mixes with the blood already soaking the tower. So this is the pain Morgana suffered? Do you despise everyone, Morgana? Did your resentment at your mother's betrayal, at the people who came seeking your blood, at the Lord who took your life, turn into a hatred for all mankind? Your perception of me is still incorrect, Michael. My grudge is only against a select few. Think about it, my dear. Of the thousands, millions, billions of people living on this planet, my world is comprised of but a minuscule fraction of that. Hatred for all mankind? No. What I feel is not nearly so nebulous. Although, if I had died still believing I was a saint, maybe I wouldn't have had such a well-defined mission. Are you saying the Lord didn't kill you? Oh my, did you actually think that was the end of my tale? Despite all your big talk, you're afraid of having to suffer through any more of that, aren't you? But you're the one who said you wouldn't give in. So go on. Know my pain. Without losing your mind. Once again, my surroundings crumble. I have no say. I have no chance to object before I'm dragged back to that repulsive banquet. I reach out, stretching my hand as far as it will reach, but all I can grab is darkness. My bloody body sinks back into the abyss. The pain becomes more than just a memory, eroding away at my consciousness. Okay. We're going to be done for the night. I went way longer than I initially intended, but I mean, you can't blame me. I got really. I said that if I was getting caught onto the story, that it would be really difficult for me to, to put it down. So, but yeah, wow, we sure did learn a lot, and God damn it, we gotta save Giselle. We gotta get her and Michael back together. Damn it. And Michael, fuck you. You should have kissed her right then, right there. Oh man. Oh, what a good story. What a phenomenal game so far. Oh my man. Though now I do have a question. So it's now we know that the white-haired girl Michelle was the continued reconstruction of Michael. So we have that answered, but we still don't know what the painting was that Michael had of the white girl. And then the other thing is now I'm really curious about the past doors. What could these people from different eras, how could they even have a connection with Morgana? Why was she so mad at them that she had to, why did she hate them so much that she had to torture them? And how is that possible spread out amongst the different eras? Unless there are people who wronged her and can be reincarnated, much like Michelle or Michael kind of was, where he was starting to be reconstructed. That's the only other thing I can think of. But I'm looking forward to learning more. So, oh boy. So let's see here. Meat of the Witch, why are you the way you are? Well, we're getting that answer. Come on, Michael. You fumbling the bag, man. Yeah. No, Michael's biggest fuck up so far this entire story, in my opinion, is him not kissing Giselle earlier. Oh man, you gotta. If you rescue her again, and you do not kiss her right then and there, there's something wrong with you, man. Okay, so I'm looking forward to more, though. I will say it'll be because I do have some stuff that's going to keep me pretty busy with work in the next couple of days. And the other thing is, too, I really would like to give my voice a break because it was strained this entire time. I don't know if you guys can hear it through the microphone or what, but it is. I'm really having to try to force my voice out of my throat. It is really, really clenched. It's like I'm not feeling like there's a whole chunk of my throat where I'm not feeling vibration when I'm speaking. So I know that it's strained. so yeah, if it's so maybe Thursday or Friday we shall make a return to this. But in the meantime, I do need a little bit of a break. If I find the free time, though, I guess giving me a break from talking too much, maybe I'll pick back up on and return to do a segment of Bloodborne. We'll see. To quote someone near and dear to me who's long since passed, I can't wait to see what I'm gonna do next. Anyways, I appreciate everybody who came by, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. I've had a few people leave comments, and it's pretty cool, and it's I'm hoping that those folks are enjoying it. Yeah, I don't know. I genuinely like reading this and doing this. I've always kind of wanted to do something where I get to speak into a microphone and share a story with somebody. Not a story of my own, but just read something, and it's a lot more fun than I initially thought. And being able to share it with folks and talk back and forth with folks it's a lot of fun. So, anyways, I hope you guys are staying safe and keeping warm, especially if you're living around the parts that I do, or anywhere anywhere north or anywhere where snowflakes fall. Hope that you're keeping warm and safe, and I hope that you're also having fun, and yeah, I hope that you're I hope that you're happy, and if you're not happy, if there's something going wrong in life, I really hope that you can find some way to you can find something to be happy about, or I hope that just good fortune comes your way and maybe gifts it to you. So, anyways, I appreciate you guys for coming, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Oh, sorry. Before I go, dang man, you've been doing this while your throat's messed up? Yes. My my throat's been messed up. it's I can't wait to be done for the night, honestly. I got to take a break. If you ever want to read my stories, although most of them are long, you're more than welcome to. You know what, Edgy? We'll talk. Maybe I will do that. However, I'll just say, if I were to do something like that, I would not do it live. I would probably record it. That way you're not getting the ums, uhs, and me stammering or mixing up words. So, but anyways, guys, stay safe, stay warm, have fun, and find some, I hope that you're happy, and if you're not happy, I hope that you can find something to change that. Take care.